So midnight foam, we talked about it yesterday. I'm in love with this stuff. I'm actually gonna add a little more water to this. This foam has been sitting out for a couple days. So it's great when you see it in the box, and then it turns to this really rich midnight. But why black foam? You really have to try it to see the benefits of it. And then you really have to change your mindset that you don't have to cover it. If you can't see it, you don't need to cover it. When we're designing with green foam, you good? Okay. When we're designing with green foam, we're trained to cover all the green foam that you can see. If you don't see it anymore, you can stop shoving stuff in it. With the midnight foam, you don't see stuff far sooner. Does that make sense? So what Jacob and I are going to do when we design in the shop, and my main job at the shop is weddings and parties. So we do a lot of production design. So I have a video on my phone I can show you if you ask me later. And this is that $8,500, 2 people designing it in 2.5 hours or 4 total man hours that we designed this. So Jacob and I are going to design in production style. So by that I mean, we can, if we do production design at the shop and we have 4 people designing, if I design on my side of the table and someone else designs over here, and we're all doing the same design, and we're starting, and Susie does 4 hydrangea, and I do 4 hydrangea, and Gina does 4 hydrangea, and Kylie does 4 hydrangea, those 4 hydrangea are all going to be placed in slightly different ways. So how we production style design is we rotate around that table. I'll place all the hydrangea. Someone will follow behind me and place all the roses. So all the hydrangea placement and all the designs is identical. All the rose placement and all the designs is identical. So we're going to do kind of production style design, and we're going to start by just adding a little bit of the eucalyptus, and then I think Jacob will give me a bit of a head start. We often do this at the shop. I've just got some gorgeous silver dollar eucalyptus, and I'm going to be just like I am at the shop. I'm a mess, but he'll give me a bit of a head start with the greens. And we'll make this a cascading piece over the top. He's gonna come, okay, so he's gonna come behind me with this. You all know a pink, I can't say it the way everybody says it. It's a pink mondial rose. You might know it as a pink mondial rose, but it's French, it means world. So it's pink mondial, and if you say it with a French accent, you can sell it with more money. So he's going to come behind me with those. I'm just going to continue down the line. Now what are we designing in? We have a triple brick tray. This is what I call a stupid simple mechanic. Stupid simple and brilliant that it didn't come out earlier. This holds perfectly 3 bricks of foam. It's 27 inches long. You have single brick, double brick, and triple brick trays. Inexpensive. How many of you use raquettes? Raquettes are fine. Raquettes can be a little pricey. Raquettes have the plastic cover. We use these for table runner designs. I had an event where I had 12-foot long table runner designs. And we did them in triple brick trays. You can cut the foam in half lengthwise.
Did you take those down?
Pardon me?
Did you take those down?
I did not take these down. In the real world, what I would do is pan glue my dry foam into the triple brick tray. I didn't do that. So yesterday, the elevated, the bridge centerpiece, the chandelier centerpiece. Ideally, what I would do is pan glue that dry and then float soak it so it sinks on its own into my big soaking tub. The reason I do that is I don't want to see green tape on a chandelier centerpiece that's elevated. The black tray just disappears. I didn't mention that yesterday. But yeah, so ideally I would pan glue it in dry so there's no visible mechanics. They're going to stay in there rock solid, no problem. You can always place them in there and then tape them. So I'm going to come back with a little bit of stock. I'm going to try to pitch it behind.
I'm just laying on the floor.
Sling it on the floor, that's how we do it. You can always tell the most creative person in the shop by the biggest mess that they leave. Do I hear an amen? So, okay, how many of you work with a garbage can neatly to your right or left? None of you? 2 of you? You people are sick. I am throwing it on the floor, but we also have lovely people that we call delivery drivers who come back after me, and they sweep up after me. So you can already see that midnight foam is just starting to disappear. Right? I'm coming. Okay, so I'm adding in some peach stock. We're going to take, this is going to be a play on that living coral. Let's see how quickly we can get this done. I told Jacob we needed music. So you can see by me placing all of the stock, it's all placed in a similar fashion. If Jacob started on this side and placed his stock in his way, and I started on that side, you'd be able to tell a definite difference in the placement. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. I'm going to work on this side and add Gerbers, and we'll crisscross somewhere in the middle. And these are going to just sink down toward the center. What do you think so far? And the colors are just layers of colors. We're using some of the soft peaches, we're using some of the corals, the pinks, the blushes. And what Jacob's doing with the pink ranunculus, which is gorgeous, that's from Equiflora Rio Roses. He's tucking those pinks, they're a really bright, vibrant pink, and he's tucking them deep down in, which really make those softer shades that are on the outside pop. Gerber. Okay.
She's beating me.
I only had
These little
15
ranunculus are quite tricky.
Okay, we've got 3 pink mink protea. Is that a pink mink? No, it's not a pink mink. We have 3 protea. Gorgeous protea. Now, if I put 1 in here, and 1 in here, and 1 in here, it's not going to have the impact as if I group them all more toward the center of the design. Agreed? Okay. So we'll add these. And we'll get a profile view on that one. But just to create a little weight in the center. So Jacob has these gorgeous soft pink, almost mauve scoop scabiosa. Did you see the scoop scabiosa over on display? This is like, I love scabiosa. This variety, this very ruffly and very full variety, you're seeing a ton of this on Pinterest, and the colors are fantastic. So Jacob's putting in a softer pink, and I'm going to come back over with this deeper aubergine color. So when you look at these, they have a plastic straw on them. These really have a sturdy stem. Look at that stem. I don't need that plastic straw. Sometimes I just leave them on there because they're transparent. And I'll just leave that on if I wanted to dot that over the design. But I'm going to put this out a little bit from the design. Aren't those gorgeous? And Jacob's going to follow with the similar color in ranunculus. Any questions while we're doing this? Have any of you worked with the Midnight Foam? What do you think? I love it. Absolutely love it. And once you start using it, does it cost more? Yes, we figured out yesterday it's 37 cents a brick more. If you can't make up 37 cents a brick in the amount of product that you don't have to use to cover it up, then you have bigger problems. Okay, so favorite thing that you've seen this weekend? All of it? Okay.
We've done an okay job.
We've done an okay job. Yeah, those straws are just as sturdy as the scabiosa is. The amazing thing about flowers in 2019, and the quality of the flowers when they're breeding for strength of stem like this, I mean, that is a sturdy stem without the straw. So Jacob's gonna come back, with the, yeah, sure, yep. We've got a little bit of the coral ranunculus. It's kind of a peachy coral ranunculus. I'm gonna kick this under so I don't squish up the carpet. This is really about the only thing in here that's going to be that true coral. The living coral, when you see the actual living coral color, it is hot, intense coral.
It's like a lipstick that you just keep in the back pocket.
I'm gonna pull some of these softer peach herbers that I forgot about down into the center. You can see how that just, the foam just disappears. You don't really see it. Now you're gonna see some visible foam there, but if this were elevated, or if this were already elevated over a table in a room, I wouldn't even mind putting it up like this. Because it's not like you're seeing a visible mechanic. You're not seeing the green foam as a visible mechanic, because the green color foam is not any color of natural green. It doesn't match any color green, so it takes more to cover it up. But this black is just gone. We've got stunning rose lilies. And this may be the only thing, since this is the last bloom, that Jacob and I may do together. But I think at this point, the placement of these rose lilies are going to be accents and filling in some space and just adding texture to the design. Does any visible bits of foam distract you? No, it doesn't.
Kind of looks like shadow or something.
Yes, in the shadow, it just goes away. I'm a firm believer in it. And when I first saw this foam, Jacob represented the United States in the World Cup competition in Berlin. When was that?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. And the World Cup is going to be held in Philadelphia, and Jacob's actually one of the technical judges for the World Cup. So it's definitely an honor, even though he'll say, it's no big deal.
No big deal.
It's a big deal. So in 2017, I competed in the World Florist competition, different, much smaller competition. But when I was over there, I got to tour some French wholesale markets, which was fascinating to me. And on the shelf, I saw black foam. Now the black foam over there is black polyurethane foam. Remember the rainbow foam? It's black, dense polyurethane foam. They do intricate, huge, detailed designs. Their black foam, even though it's a different type of foam, outsells green. So they've got wreath forms and shapes, all of them in the black foam. This is different black foam. So the green foam is what we call, it's a phenolic foam. The green Oasis foam is a phenolic foam. This midnight foam comes in standard and deluxe. It sticks like regular foam because it is regular foam, it's just black. So it's coming in a 24 and 36 brick case. It comes in grande bricks. That's my go-to for event design. A grande brick is like 2 bricks worth of foam. If you haven't used a grande brick and you're doing event work, instead of putting 2 bricks together, try a grande brick. And then it also comes in cubes. If you do 5-inch cubes, it comes in a 5-inch cube. Just drop it right into a 5-inch cube. You don't have to aspidistra leaf wrap anything. Super easy to do. And I think, is that it right now that it comes in? Yep, yep. So grande bricks and 5-inch cubes and standard bricks.
I'm gonna pull them just a little bit off the edge and then place our accent little.
So we have some accent things in the peach that just are going to give you more solid mass of those peach in front. When you look at this down the line like this, you have to see this from the side. It's really cool to see from the side. You can see it from the side. What do you think? Yeah? Thank you. So these are the peach, what do you call it? Iridescent glass.
Iridescent glass.
So if you could imagine this, if this were both, peach iridescent glass. If you could imagine this down a feasting table, an estate table, a king's table, whatever you want to call it, we've created these hedge table runners. And then this would be, this is the table I'd want to eat at. I want to eat at this table. Okay?
I've
And
done
then,
one where they put it on a swing
yes.
above the head
Yeah.
table.
So if you take that elevated chandelier centerpiece, that bridge centerpiece, you can actually, either by placing a long board on top or just placing those on risers, you can create a long, that's why we call them bridge centerpieces, you can create a long bridge.
Do you guys see how fast that was though?
Okay.
Oh my God, and imagine the possibilities, because you could totally just jump this thing up. You could use the new gold fine wire in there, little filigree things, add some texture, add some reflection, candles, all through there. Even a few, you know what would be really pretty too, is some of this foliage that we have in here, that chunky glitter that we have. You could put just a little bit of that on the foliage throughout, and it would add a reflective quality. But look how fast this was. There's not a lot of foliage in there. It's just beautiful. When you do production design like that, literally you just march around the table.
Right. Right.
You don't even have to like the person. But we do. So it's an added bonus. But you can literally do this so fast, and you can have it totally recipe'd out, you know, priced out. It's so cost effective.
So how I would price this out? I would
Look at
know
this
how many hydrangea I need per tray, how many roses I need per tray. It's exactly how I can show you some pictures. If you want to see it, I can show you some photos. And we had it down to per tray. We had to create these super long table runners, but we had it down to per tray. We have to menu it out. I have to have a menu for everything. I can't just say it needs one more bloom and stick it in. That's money I'm losing. All right? So I encourage you to try to make it home. So a few quick thank yous.
Yes.
Thank you all for braving this weather, which Jacob has experienced for the first time, I think.
Yeah.
The wind and the, yeah. So thank you all for coming out. North American Wholesale Florist, thank you all. Amazing hospitality, amazing product to work with. We've had a ball.
We've had
the
great
vendors,
food.
Syndicate Sales, Design Master, Smithers-Oasis, Floral, Rio Roses. Beautiful stuff. We were like kids in a candy store.
We were. You guys are so blessed to be able to walk into a wholesale house that has all of these products that are right at your fingertips. You can call these guys. They are literally your family. I have heard how they speak to you guys, how you speak to them. You guys know when their babies are born, when people are being put in the grave. Y'all know everything about each other. So I think that's pretty cool. Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for being here. It was a fantastic show. And thank you guys for braving the weather like this. It's been a rough winter. Okay. These are called Sucera. Those proteas are, if you want to order that specifically.
Sucera.
Sucera. S-U-S-A-R-A.
Sucera.
Yep.